if I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy.
Years after his tragic passing, X was allegedly spotted vibing near his old Parkland mansion, seen at the Super Bowl, and even strolling through the streets of Florida like nothing ever happened. But something about these sightings just didn't sit right. They looked way too real to brush off. Could it be that he's really out there, living quietly in plain sight? I'll let you decide for yourself as we dive into 10 wild moments X was supposedly caught on camera. Our first mysterious sighting takes us deep into the Bermuda Triangle. In August 2018, just months after X's confirmed passing, rumors exploded online. Word spread that X had been seen alive by locals somewhere in the Caribbean waters near that legendary triangle. The timing was crazy. Fans were still heartbroken and desperate for any sign their idol might somehow still be around. The story painted a mind-blowing scene. People said X had pulled off an unbelievable escape plan, vanishing to Bermuda to lay low and stay away from the spotlight. Some even claimed he was keeping things quiet on a boat or a hidden island, far from the chaos, headlines, and all the pressure waiting for him back in Florida. Every new rumor only made the mystery wilder. Was it a look-alike, an illusion, or something deeper? The streets were buzzing with questions, and no one knew what to believe.
I came up off like a lot of artists. Like I would go from all of that, like from rock to rap to literally Japanese instrumentals, like different Japanese songs. Like I was completely and utterly mesmerized by music.
The story even tied back to that wild 2017 stunt where X staged a fake hanging for one of his music videos, a move that made some fans believe this could be another mind-twisting act from the unpredictable artist. But this is where things start getting real interesting. Turns out, the whole rumor kicked off from online trolls stirring chaos on social media, especially on X, back when it was still called Twitter. One viral post on August 22, 2018 showed what looked like a real CNN headline that read, "Rapper XXXTentacion found alive off coast to Bermuda, says local authorities." But when fans clicked the link, expecting shocking news, they didn't get that at all. Instead, they landed on some random ad for home appliances, followed by a totally unrelated comedy clip. It was pure trolling, made to mess with people's emotions and rack up clicks. Even though there was zero solid proof, no real statement from officials, no clear footage showing his trademark face tattoos or features, and not a single eyewitness from the massive 75,000-person crowd, still the rumor just wouldn't die. It kept spinning in online conspiracy spaces for months. Eventually, experts stepped in, saying these sightings were a case of pareidolia. That's when people see familiar faces or patterns in random, unclear images, especially in grainy crowd footage. Basically, people were seeing what they wanted to see. In the end, this rumor became a perfect example of how misinformation spreads inside fan communities. Viral posts feed off emotion, playing with people's grief just to grab attention and clout. Around 2020, right in the middle of the global lockdown, when everyone was glued to their phones, wild claims began spreading that high-definition drone footage had accidentally captured XXXTentacion living off the grid on some mysterious island. Supposedly, it was an unnamed tropical spot somewhere in the Caribbean or maybe even the Pacific, thousands of miles from his old home in Florida. The story sounded straight out of a movie. Believers said X had planned everything, faking his disappearance to escape the spotlight, avoid ongoing legal battles, and stay far away from any drama or tension in the industry. According to the theory, he'd pulled a complete reset, vanishing to find peace and rebuild his life in silence. This version of the story painted him like a modern-day hermit, someone who turned his back on fame and the chaos that came with it. It connected deeply with the emotional themes he often spoke about in his music, especially in his 17 album, where he opened up about struggling with his emotions and wanting to find peace. Fans who bought into the rumor imagined him living a simple, quiet life, maybe even making music again in a tiny island studio, surrounded by nothing but waves and palm trees.
All right, let's say worst thing comes to worst, I die a tragic death or some and I'm not able to see out my dreams. I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves.
And the so-called proof? Supposedly drone footage that showed a man resembling X, similar build, familiar dreads, and visible tattoos. Clips of the sightings started making rounds online, sending fans into a frenzy as people broke down every frame, claiming it was evidence that he was still alive and well 2 years after the reports of his passing. The clip supposedly showed a man walking along a quiet beach or moving through thick tropical trees, with the camera zooming in dramatically on shadows and faraway silhouettes that people swore looked like X. The timing couldn't have been more perfect for rumors like this to blow up. Everyone was locked indoors, scrolling nonstop, and diving deep in the online conspiracy rabbit holes. Some even compared it to the old stories about Elvis Presley's secret island hideouts, or the wild theories about Michael Jackson being spotted years after his passing. But despite all the hype, there was never any real drone footage to back it up. Everything that circulated online turned out to be edited clips, reused stock footage, or heavily manipulated visuals that fooled hopeful fans looking for answers. Eventually, X's family addressed the rumors directly during interviews tied to his posthumous releases. They explained how painful these false claims were and urged people to focus on celebrating his art and legacy, not chasing internet myths. The so-called island sighting had people imagining X living like a castaway, far from fame and noise, but the next rumor flipped that idea upside down, suggesting he was no longer hiding at all. By September 2020, the internet was hit with one of the boldest claims yet, that XXXTentacion had been caught live on television. This wasn't about staying off the radar anymore. This rumor claimed he had stepped back into public view, maybe even risking exposure right in front of millions of viewers. The claims started popping up everywhere, from big news broadcasts to popular daytime talk shows and entertainment programs. People online swore they saw a figure in the background who looked just like X, caught live on camera for the world to see. Those who believed the theory argued fiercely that this was proof his passing wasn't what it seemed, that maybe it was part of an elaborate plan to step away from the chaos of fame or even to pull off the most shocking comeback in music history. Fans immediately connected it back to that infamous 2017 stunt, the one where he faked his own passing for a music video and had the internet in a total frenzy. The timing made things even more suspicious. Around the same period, a wave of posthumous releases started dropping, including huge collaborations with major artists like Lil Wayne. This had people convinced that X might still be quietly calling the shots from behind the curtain, running things from the shadows. The rumor caught fire across social media. Content creators went all in, analyzing broadcast clips frame by frame. They slowed down footage, zoomed in, added filters, and circled figures they thought looked like him, trying to convince viewers that this was legit proof. From CNN news segments to MTV specials, the hunt for clues became a digital obsession. One version of the rumor went even deeper. It claimed he appeared during a live broadcast from Florida, supposedly near the same area where the tragic event took place. That detail added a dark twist, making fans think it was some kind of message, a symbolic gesture or hidden sign to those who truly knew him. What made this sighting so powerful was how believable it felt to fans. Anyone sitting at home watching TV could suddenly think they had spotted him, right there on their screen. Experts later explained it as another case of pareidolia, that moment when grief and hope blend together and people start seeing familiar faces everywhere. Just like the endless after-passing sightings people have claimed about other music legends, this one had fans convinced they were onto something big. But once video forensic experts got involved, things started to fall apart fast. They quickly determined that the so-called proof was nothing more than edited footage or simple mix-ups with lookalikes. No major broadcaster ever confirmed that anything mysterious had happened live on air, meaning the rumor didn't hold up under real scrutiny. Still, the buzz didn't die down. The live TV sighting had people thinking X was somehow playing games with the media, but the next rumor brought everything right back home to where his story began. By January 2021, whispers started swirling again, this time saying that XXXTentacion had been spotted right in Florida, his home state. The new wave of theories claimed he was hiding out in or around the Miami area, a place where he had deep connections and a lifetime of memories. Even 3 years after his confirmed passing, some fans refused to let go, keeping the rumors alive with new evidence and wild speculation. This alleged sighting painted a surprisingly simple, yet strangely believable picture. X living quietly, keeping things low-key, and staying close to the places he once called home. Some said he might have been tucked away on a quiet street in a regular neighborhood, or renting out a private spot somewhere on the edge of Miami-Dade County. The theory suggested he had mastered the art of blending in, moving through familiar spaces without drawing any attention. Supporters believed he chose Florida because of its comfort and connection to his roots. He was born in Plantation, spent much of his early grind in Broward County, and even lived in Parkland during the height of his success. To fans, that made total sense. Florida was home, the perfect place to stay hidden while keeping close to the people and memories that mattered most. This theory claimed X was driven by a strong desire to escape the chaos that surrounded his life, the drama, the tension with other artists, and the constant pressure of being in the spotlight. Some fans believed he wanted to start fresh and protect his peace after years of living in a world that felt unpredictable and unsafe. The rumor really caught traction thanks to a wave of so-called leaked photos and anonymous posts that popped up across social media in early January 2021. It was the middle of the pandemic. Everyone was still stuck inside, scrolling nonstop, and diving deep into online conspiracy rabbit holes. Then came the blurry, grainy pictures that set the internet on fire. These images, shared mostly on Instagram and Reddit, appeared to show someone who looked a lot like X. Same hairstyle, same build, and even faint hints of familiar tattoos. The photos supposedly came from random Florida suburbs, captured from a distance like he was just out living a quiet, regular life. Each post came with a dramatic caption, things like, "A fan caught him walking home from the store," or "A friend of a friend saw him near Miami last night." Some even mentioned the person in the picture was wearing a face mask, which made it even harder to tell if he was really him. But it added to the mystery since everyone was masking up during the pandemic anyway.
His music always hit deep, raw, emotional, and filled with stories about pain, redemption, and isolation. His lyrics made listeners feel like they truly knew him, and the albums that dropped after his passing only strengthened that bond. So for many fans, imagining him alive somewhere familiar, maybe healing, maybe finding peace, brought a strange kind of comfort during the chaos of 2020. But once investigators dug into the claims, the Florida hiding theory completely fell apart. No credible news outlets or law enforcement agencies ever backed up the photos, and experts revealed that the images were digitally altered or just random lookalikes caught at the right angle. The dream of him secretly living in Florida faded, but it wasn't over yet, because the next alleged sighting took things to a whole new level, right outside his own former home in Florida. By June 2024, another wild rumor surfaced, claiming that XXXTentacion had been spotted near his old house in Florida, not hiding, but actually being seen interacting with fans. This made it one of the most emotional and talked about sightings yet, because it didn't just suggest survival, it hinted at him being confident enough to engage with people face to face. According to the stories that spread online, multiple eyewitnesses claimed they saw a man resembling X casually walking near his old Parkland neighborhood, the same area where he had lived during the final months of his life. Short video clips began surfacing too, showing someone who looked just like him, walking along a quiet street, occasionally glancing at fans and passing cars, and even giving small gestures of acknowledgement. These details made the rumor feel way more personal. Fans described the moment as emotional and surreal, like seeing a ghost, but real at the same time. Social media blew up instantly.
with people sharing reactions, breaking down every frame, and arguing over whether it was truly him or just another convincing lookalike. Descriptions of the supposed encounter varied a lot, but almost every version shared the same striking details. A man dressed in chill, casual clothes, rocking an oversized hoodie and fitted jeans with tattoos clearly visible on his arms and neck. Witnesses said his energy felt exactly like X, calm but powerful, that same intense presence fans remembered. Some even claimed he waved or nodded in that familiar way, while excited fans shouted his name and blasted his songs from their car speakers as he passed by. To the believers, this wasn't just a random coincidence. It was proof. They saw it as a sign that he might actually be living quietly somewhere nearby, maybe at a property privately managed by his estate. The idea was that he wanted to reconnect with his roots, his city, and the loyal fan base that kept his legacy alive all these years. The fact that his older songs and unreleased material was still dropping made the timing feel even more meaningful. This alleged sighting absolutely exploded online, especially through TikTok. Around June 12, 2024, just days before the anniversary of his passing, short clips started spreading like wildfire. Each video had attention-grabbing titles and grainy footage that seemed almost too real. A figure resembling X walking near a quiet street while cars slowed down to watch. In several clips, fans could be heard reacting in pure shock, honking, yelling, and calling out his name. Some shouted LLJ, the powerful tribute meaning "Long live Jase," a phrase that still carries heavy emotion in the community. That raw reaction from the fans made the footage feel more authentic, even though there was no official confirmation that the person in the video was really him. What made this rumor hit harder than most was where it happened, right near his former home in Parkland, Florida. For those who followed his story closely, that location wasn't random. Parkland and the wider Broward County area played a massive role in X's life. From his tough early years to his rise in music and all the charitable work he did for the community. But once people started digging deeper, the truth behind those viral videos began to unravel fast. Investigators and internet sleuths discovered major inconsistencies. Many of the clips that had blown up online weren't new at all. They were actually recycled footage from June 12, 2018, just days before X's passing, but reposted and falsely labeled as current. Some videos even turned out to feature tribute impersonators who were performing during fan-organized memorial events, not the real X himself. Those home encounter videos may have made things feel personal and intimate, but the next rumor took things straight back to the world X loved most, the music scene. In 2024, yet another chapter in this wild saga unfolded. This time, the internet lit up with claims that XXXTentacion had been spotted at a concert, possibly backstage in VIP areas, or even blending into the crowd at a live hip-hop event. The theory claimed he wasn't just hiding anymore. He was allegedly moving through the very industry that once made him a global icon. The rumor often centered around big cities like Los Angeles, a place with deep rap history and a huge emotional connection to X's career. Fans remembered how he tore up the stage there during his explosive revenge tour back in 2017. So the idea of him showing up again in the same city felt almost poetic to believers. According to supposed eyewitness accounts, people claim to have seen a mysterious figure in the shadows near backstage entrances. Someone rocking colorful dreads, partially tucked under a fitted cap or a beanie, trying to stay low-key. Others swore they caught glimpses of familiar face tattoos flashing under the strobes of concert lights, disappearing into the chaos before anyone could get a clear shot. It didn't take long for those descriptions to go viral. TikTok edits, Reddit threads, and Instagram reels all picked apart every blurry frame, arguing whether it was him or just another dedicated fan with the same style. Witnesses described the figure as having a lean, athletic build, moving with that same confident, unmistakable swagger that fans remembered from his live performances. The way he carried himself in those clips instantly reminded people of his old tour footage, fueling speculation that maybe, just maybe, he had stepped back into the crowd one last time. Supporters of the theory argued hard the disappearance matched X's unpredictable energy and love for surprise moments. They pointed to his history of unexpected pop-ups and spontaneous fan interactions, especially that wild 2017 Miami event that got completely out of control. To believers, the idea that he had staged his own disappearance
made perfect sense. A way to escape the pressure of fame, step away from non-stop chaos, and find freedom from the drama that had been surrounding him after his meteoric rise with Look at Me in 2017. By mid-2024, the rumor gained major traction again, largely thanks to TikTok. Fans began flooding the app with edited clips and emotional theories, especially around June 18th, the anniversary of his passing. Every year, that date carried heavy energy for his supporters. Memorial events, tribute streams, and fan-made compilations that brought all the emotions back at once. It was the perfect environment for this new concert sighting story to explode online. Viral TikToks began showing what appeared to be zoomed-in concert footage, allegedly featuring a figure in the crowd that looked strikingly similar to X. These videos were edited with dramatic flair, slow-motion zooms, red arrows pointing to a silhouette, and remixed versions of his most iconic tracks like Sad and Changes. The music choices weren't random, they were emotional triggers, meant to hit hard and make viewers feel that nostalgic, heart-pulling hope that maybe he was still out there somewhere.
Many of the 2024 concert sighting claims pointed directly to one real-life event, the XXXTentacion Memorial Concert held on June 18, 2024 at the 1720 venue in Los Angeles. Hundreds of fans gathered there to honor his legacy, turning the space into both a tribute show and a charitable event, featuring a massive water drive in his name. The atmosphere was emotional, electric, and full of love, the kind of energy that always surrounded X's name. But despite the buzz, investigators and event staff quickly shut down the rumors. They confirmed that no verified witnesses, organizers, or security teams have reported anything unusual that night. Experts later determined the so-called proof videos were just misidentified lookalikes and cleverly recycled footage from his 2017 tour days. Once again, the internet had blended real tribute events with fantasy, creating an illusion that felt real because of how badly people wanted it to be. The concert sighting may have symbolically put X back on stage, but the next claim took things in a completely different direction, something far more intimate and eerie. By April 2025, a new story started spreading, one that fans dubbed the shocking mansion encounter. It was described as one of the most personal and unbelievable alleged sightings yet. This rumor claimed that XXXTentacion had been spotted inside or right outside a house in a quiet suburban neighborhood, possibly his former Parkland mansion or a similar property somewhere else in Florida. According to supposed witnesses, a few people claim to have caught brief glimpses of him, either through a window or stepping momentarily onto the front porch, turning the story into something that felt both haunting and strangely intimate. Some said they saw a familiar silhouette, matching his build and signature hairstyle inside what looked like a luxurious home eerily similar to the one he had famously purchased in 2018 for about $1.4 million. This claim painted a vivid picture. X living a low-profile, peaceful life, completely off the grid and avoiding all public attention. To believers, it made emotional sense. The house represented everything he once said he wanted: stability, calm, and a safe space away from the chaos that came with fame. Amid the endless online chatter about his legacy, new eyewitness accounts began circulating, each one painting an eerily detailed picture of what people claim they saw inside that mysterious Florida house. According to these descriptions, the figure looked exactly like X. Same height, same build, tattoos on his arms clearly visible, and his signature dreads tied back casually. Witnesses even described him doing totally normal things, cooking in the kitchen, chilling on a couch, or gaming in what looked like a custom setup, scenes that instantly reminded fans of the vlog moments he used to share before his passing. To believers, it all felt too real to dismiss. They argued that this so-called mansion sighting was proof that he had successfully faked his disappearance years ago to leave behind the chaos of fame and finally live in peace. The theory suggested that he stepped away from the spotlight to quietly rebuild his life while his estate continued managing posthumous music releases, including collabs like the Juice WRLD remix of Whoa, Mind and Awe that dropped in May 2025. The timing of the rumor made it blow up even faster. It started gaining traction on TikTok and Reddit in early 2025, right around the time when fans were revisiting old interviews and tribute posts about his home and legacy. That renewed attention gave the rumor the perfect platform to spread, and people ran with it. Before long, dramatic TikToks and Reddit threads started popping up everywhere,
creators uploaded cinematic recreations of drive-by sightings, claiming to have caught glimpses through windows or reflections in glass. Posts came with click-grabbing titles like "Shocking Encounter," "XXXTentacion alive in his old house," and "Caught on Camera, X back home in Florida." These videos exploded online, getting millions of views thanks to emotional storytelling and slick editing. Even though investigators and fans later pointed out the inconsistencies, the rumor had already spread too far. People wanted to believe. The emotional pull was undeniable. Seeing him supposedly living quietly, surrounded by reminders of his old life, struck a deep chord with fans who never stopped missing him. Back in February 2025, a Reddit thread started gaining attention after someone asked who currently lived in X's old Parkland home. Users began speculating that one of his relatives, possibly his aunt, might still be staying there. What started as a simple curiosity post quickly spiraled into wild theories. By April, people online were claiming that they had seen him during supposed family visits or even walking casually around the neighborhood. That house became the centerpiece of the entire mystery. Articles described it as X's final sanctuary, a modern, peaceful space with a sleek design, a gaming room, and a beautiful pool that once symbolized his search for calm and stability. For fans, it represented everything he had been striving for before his tragic passing: peace, growth, and a sense of home. But when investigators and family members addressed the story, they quickly shut it down. Experts pointed out that most of the so-called new footage was likely AI-generated or simple cases of mistaken identity, and relatives firmly denied that any such encounters ever happened. Still, that didn't stop the internet from running with it. The mystery only seemed to grow stronger each time it was debunked. The mansion encounter rumors painted a picture of X living quietly behind closed doors, but the next alleged sighting took things to the opposite extreme, putting him right in front of thousands of people, surrounded by flashing lights and cameras. By June 2025, new claims started spreading that XXXTentacion had been spotted courtside at the NBA Finals. This rumor brought a wild, high-energy twist to the ongoing conspiracy, combining celebrity culture, sports hype, and fan obsession all in one explosive story. According to viral posts, the sighting happened during the 2025 NBA Championship, the matchup between the Oklahoma Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. It was an unforgettable, edge-of-your-seat series, and the idea that X might have been there, sitting just a few feet away from the court, sent fans into total chaos online. The Thunder's victory on June 19, 2025 was legendary, their first NBA championship since relocating from Seattle. It was a massive moment in basketball history. But what came after the game ended up stealing as many headlines as the game itself. Fans and online theorists began flooding social media with blurry clips and grainy photos taken from inside the arena, either Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis or the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, claiming they showed none other than XXXTentacion himself in the crowd. According to the claims, a mysterious figure with a familiar build and hairstyle was walking through the busy concourse or sitting in the stands, cheering alongside more than 20,000 fans. The person was said to be wearing a hoodie, dark shades, and a mask, blending in perfectly, while still somehow standing out to eagle-eyed fans who noticed the resemblance.
Descriptions online were incredibly detailed. People swore they saw him reacting with genuine excitement during key plays, jumping up during Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's clutch moments, and even applauding Tyrese Halliburton's efforts before his heartbreaking Achilles injury that came to light after the finals. Those who believed in the rumor said it wasn't just a random coincidence. It matched perfectly with X's known passion for basketball. He had often talked about his love for the game, especially for the Miami Heat, and even dropped sports references in his freestyles and lyrics. Fans remembered how he mixed basketball metaphors with deep personal reflections, making the idea of him showing up at a finals game feel strangely fitting and almost poetic. The rumor's timeline could be traced back precisely to early June 2025, right when the finals began. That's when social media exploded with posts from fans claiming to have spotted him during televised crowd shots. People began slowing down clips from major network broadcasts, ABC, ESPN, and others, zooming in dramatically on random faces in the audience and comparing them to old photos and concert footage from X's 2017 Rolling Loud performance. The internet detectives went all in, pointing out supposed matches, the posture, the tattoos, even his body language under the lights. To them, it all fit perfectly into the ever-growing X is alive storyline. Online discussions tied the so-called NBA Finals sighting to bigger ideas. Things like supposed inconsistencies in the original case, and the oddly perfect timing of posthumous music releases, especially the May 30th, 2025 remix of Whoa, Mind in Awe featuring Juice WRLD. That collab hit hard emotionally and fueled fresh speculation that maybe X had somehow stayed involved creatively behind the scenes. TikTok and Reddit took that theory and ran with it. Fans started posting cinematic edits that layered his most emotional tracks over dramatic NBA Finals highlights. Slow-motion dunks, buzzer beaters, and crowd reactions synced with X's haunting vocals. The mood those videos created was intense, a mix of nostalgia, hope, and disbelief that kept the rumor alive for weeks. Debate spread about where he might have been seen. Some said Indianapolis, since it's a smaller, quieter market where someone could easily stay unnoticed, while others argued it had to be Oklahoma City, drawn by the energy of two underdog teams battling for greatness. People wanted to believe that X, who always rooted for authenticity and passion, would have loved being in that atmosphere. But after weeks of buzz, fact-checkers stepped in. Stadium footage reviews and high-resolution crowd replays proved the mysterious figure was just a random fan who happened to look similar. There were no confirmed sightings, no matching tattoos, no entries on security logs, and no credible reports from arena staff or event organizers. Another rumor, another illusion. Still, the story didn't fade. It just evolved again, because the next and most recent alleged sighting brought things back down to earth in the most ordinary yet shocking way: a casual public stroll. By November 2025, the rumor mill started spinning once more, claiming that XXXTentacion had been seen walking casually through public areas in Florida. This wasn't a secret island or a crowded arena. It was simple, quiet, and strangely believable. Witnesses said the man looked just like him, similar walk, same build, and that relaxed vibe he always had. According to these accounts, he was seen strolling through suburban streets, peaceful parks, or familiar spots around Miami and Broward County, just going about life like nothing had ever happened. The simplicity of it all made fans go wild online. This latest alleged sighting painted one of the most surprisingly normal pictures of all. Not some secret hideout or dramatic escape, but just a quiet, everyday moment. According to online descriptions, the figure, believed to be X, was dressed in chill, relaxed gear, joggers, a plain hoodie, and a simple snapback. Witnesses said his walk looked unmistakable, that same steady, confident stride fans remember so well, with faint tattoos visible under his sleeves for those close enough to notice. Some claimed they saw him grabbing a coffee at a small local cafe, while others swore he was just taking a calm walk through a familiar Florida neighborhood, blending right in. For those who believed the story, this public stroll meant something bigger, a sign that he was finally comfortable stepping out again. They speculated that after years of supposed isolation and hiding, he was ready to quietly live life again, free from the pressure, chaos, and pain of his old fame. The theorists framed it as a kind of rebirth, a second chance at peace after everything he had endured. They even tied it back to his music, interpreting the symbolism behind the alleged walk through his lyrics. Fans pointed to tracks like "Everybody Dies in Their Nightmares" and said the act of walking freely through the world represented a powerful metaphor for moving forward and starting over. With his 2025 releases, especially The Way featuring Juice WRLD that dropped on July 11th, fans began dissecting every lyric, claiming they heard subtle, coded messages suggesting he was still here, still watching, still creating. Then came the viral videos that set the internet ablaze once again. Around early November 2025, clips began popping up on TikTok and X, formerly Twitter, showing what appeared to be a man resembling X walking casually through a Florida street. The footage was grainy and shaky, typical of viral caught-on-camera posts, but it spread fast, boosted by captions like XXXTentacion spotted walking alive in 2025 and new proof X never left. Each video was dramatically edited,
slowed down, zoomed in, and synced to his most emotional tracks for maximum effect. The combination of eerie visuals, familiar music, and bold text made the clips explode across social media. Fans flooded the comments with heart emojis, LLJ tributes, and theories about his supposed comeback, while skeptics called it just another cleverly staged illusion. No matter which side people were on, one thing was undeniable. Every new rumor, every blurry clip, and every emotional remix kept his presence alive in the digital world. The timing of this final rumor couldn't have been more perfect. It dropped right as new cultural discussions and online debates about X were reaching their peak. His Wikipedia page had just been updated to highlight the massive streaming success of his track Sad, surpassing 2.1 billion Spotify streams by 2024 and continuing to climb well into 2025. To hardcore fans, those numbers felt unreal. Too high to believe he wasn't still somehow involved behind the scenes. That only fueled the fire, making the rumors spread even faster across TikTok, Reddit, and X, especially among younger listeners who've always connected deeply to his raw emotion and honest vulnerability. His music continues to hit differently, powerful, haunting, and timeless, whether people believe he's still out there or not. One thing's for sure, X's influence hasn't faded one bit. If you enjoyed diving into this mystery, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share your favorite X theory below. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this, and click one of the videos on your screen to keep exploring the biggest unsolved moments in music history.